Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about Chrissy Teigen again, mainly because I came across an article that was discussing the fact that people were angry at her again or irked again, and I was like, okay, now what? So in this article titled "Chrissy Teigen's post on being cancelled is not sitting well with fans who remember last week's Italy pics." So I'm not going to read the whole article, but I'll link it down below. So she posted a picture of herself on a family trip in Italy. And it wasn't sitting well with people because she then recently made this post that talks about being canceled in her depression, and we'll get into that post. So people were just kind of like, boo-hoo, you're whining about being canceled or not feeling well or like yourself, but we remember that a week ago you were in Italy just chilling. So I don't think it necessarily is contradictory because things can change like this in terms of how you feel or whatever, but I think people did not take it well because, first of all, during this whole weird time to be alive, we know that celebrities haven't really been living life like the average people. Celebrities have continued to travel, and I'm talking like pre-vaccination, pre-whatever. Celebrities have continued to travel. Celebrities basically have had their everyday life stay the same from what it looks like as an outsider. They were going out to restaurants. They were doing all this shit, even if they claimed to be, you know, staying home and all that. I think there's that extra layer of people are already pissed at Chrissy Teigen generally, let alone at the idea of someone who can travel to anywhere in the world and then they post about being sad about being canceled. That irks certain people. For me, frankly, it's not a new thing that celebrities are doing this. I've been pissed about it for the length of this pandemic, though now I know it's safer to travel and most of these celebrities, I'm sure, are vaccinated and everything. But for me, that wasn't the biggest issue. Like, that wasn't even part of my issue, if you even want to call it that. I think issue is a little bit too serious of a word because it's not that deep for me. But so she wrote this other post, and it's just a picture of her on her couch, and it says, "I don't really know what to say here. It just feels so weird to pretend nothing happened in this online world, but I feel like utter shit in real life. Going outside sucks and doesn't feel right. Being at home alone with my mind makes my depressed head race, but I do know that however I'm handling this now isn't the right answer. I feel lost and need to find my place again. I need to snap out of this. I desperately want to communicate with you guys instead of pretending everything is okay. I'm not used to any other way." Now, until this point, I didn't really see a big issue. It frankly sounds, and I think she used the term depressed, she did. Depression is horrible, so like this part I could relate to, and that doesn't mean that particularly like Chrissy Teigen or absolve her as if it's my job. I mean, I'm not the one who can forgive her for the cyberbullying and everything else she's done. But this was, at least for me, a relatable part because especially this year, being inside so often, if you have those kind of dark thoughts, it's very hard to run away from them when you have to be inside, if that makes sense, or had to anyway. So until then, I was like, okay, I can empathize to a certain degree. Cancel Club is a fascinating thing, and I've learned a whole lot. Only a few understand, and it's impossible to know till you're in it, and it's hard to talk about in that sense because obviously you sound whiny when you've clearly done something wrong. It just sucks. There is no winning, but there never is here. Anyhow, all I know is I love you guys, I miss you guys, and I just needed an honest moment with you because I'm just tired of being sick with myself all day. I don't even know if it's good to say any of this because it's going to be brutally picked apart, but I don't know. I can't do this silent shit anymore. If you or someone you know has also been canceled, please let me know if there's a Cancel Club reunion because I could use some time off my couch. Thank you and goodbye. I love you." This is the part that I'm sure is what really irked people. Now, one thing I do want to say before I forget, she mentions that she's not used to it any other way and that she always shares her thoughts online. And I think that is part of the issue as of right now. As much as people say they want transparency, and I think the majority actually do want transparency from celebrities, I think there are certain things that will just never go down well, even if the celebrity is being honest, even if they're saying how they really feel. There are certain truths that the public will not react well to. An example of that is when Kim Kardashian basically rented an island or something. I can't remember the exact details, but in the height of the pandemic, herself, her family, friends, like a really big group of people just like went on an island getaway. And she posted about how blessed she felt to be able to, you know, step away from the real world. That is something that we all know now that it happened, but even thinking about it hypothetically, we all know that it wouldn't go down well while people are losing jobs, while people are losing their homes. You being an extremely rich person posting about that will not end well. So that is kind of, in comparison to this is another one of those truths that, if they are truths, let's just assume they are, benefit of the doubt, that the public will not take well. First of all, because the public doesn't feel like the apology to Courtney Stodden was enough. And then Courtney Stodden had posted that they were still blocked by Chrissy Teigen, so the apology looked more like an apology to the public as opposed to actually the people she hurt individually. Chrissy Teigen, that being. The public is still mad for a number of reasons, and I think Chrissy Teigen is generally also quite polarizing in the sense that I only know people who love her or hate her. I don't know people in between. I personally don't care for her, but I wouldn't say hate. She's not a person I'm interested in following, even though I'm talking about her here. Also, I think the part about the cancel club jokes are really poking the bear, because the reality is she's not canceled, and she likely never will be canceled. One, because she's married to John Legend. If she were single or not related to another celebrity via family or whatever, I think it would be a different story. But because she is married to a prominent celebrity, I think it's going to be near impossible for her to ever really be canceled. Also because as far as I've seen, or as far as I recall, John Legend doesn't really get into scandals that I've seen. It's just her. So in the couple, I think he comes off as the more wholesome one, whereas she comes off as the more outspoken one. Let's just put it that way. I think that until you are in such a bad headspace, it can be very detrimental, depending on who you are, to be very open, especially if you're getting a lot of hate. Opening up, talking about your depression, first of all, can be very dangerous because people are hateful as hell online. But secondly, if you're going to whine about being canceled and how it's so difficult, at that point, I would suggest keeping that for therapy, because in her apology that she posted, I think a couple weeks ago now, she did mention that she went to a lot of therapy, and I hope that she's continuing or starts up again, because clearly, you know, if you're still feeling this badly and don't feel like you're handling it well, there's a reason to go back. Therapy's a good thing. But yeah, I thought this was interesting simply because the term canceled is thrown out so much around here, and it's just like, your life is going on as normal. If you spend less time online and spend more time trying to rectify whatever you need to rectify, I think things are fine. But I think the problem with people who think they're getting canceled is that they continue to look online, or they continue to post online, and it feels like the world is ending because you keep kind of feeding the bear, and you don't let the dust settle, and you continue to be too open to the point where people can really pick apart at you in ways that will really hurt you. I don't know if that makes sense. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.